My name is Sara, and this is a meditation practice. You don't need anything in particular to join in on this meditation practice, just yourself and a comfortable seat. It could be any seat, whether you're on the ground in a seated position, or maybe you find yourself in a chair. You can always lay down on your back as well, so really allow yourself to get comfortable. It's really hard to settle into meditation, into deeper states of meditation, if we're uncomfortable in our physical body. So don't feel like you have to look a certain way as you start to settle into this practice. Really focus on making yourself as comfortable as you can. Now, this meditation is an offering of Toivo, an initiative of Advocacy Unlimited. And I want to remind you that everything that I offer here is just an offering. You get to take what you want and leave the rest. You are your greatest teacher, and you are going to take responsibility for keeping yourself safe. And just know that as we settle into stillness, as we come into meditation, all kinds of emotions can rise and fall. And not one of them are bad, right? We love to label things good or bad, but not one of those sensations are bad. And I want you to know that if you're feeling like you need a little extra support when this meditation is over, that you can feel free to reach out in the comments, or feel free to send a message through a private messenger. I'd love to hear from you there. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this practice. This is going to be a very grounding meditation practice. And so if you are in a seated posture, you're going to plant your sitting bones either on a pillow or on a blanket so that your hips can sit up a little higher than your knees. So especially if you find that your knees are up high, right, you're going to sit yourself up and you're going to let the knees drop down. I'm actually going to put a blanket under my feet. Okay, and then wherever you are, so even if you're in a chair, you're going to work to stack your shoulders over your hips. Now that's just the direction that we're moving in. If you can't take that movement completely, no worries, but that's the direction that we're moving in, so that we're getting as tall of a spine as we can. The crown of the head is going to reach, the very top of the head is going to reach up towards the sky. And here, I'll invite you to close your eyes. Now, closing the eyes is not comfortable for everyone, so I want you to notice if closing the eyes feels good. And if it doesn't, open your eyes and find a spot in front of you, a spot to focus your gaze on. You're just focusing on one spot in front of you, a spot that's unmoving, and you're going to soften your eyes there. You're just going to really stare very gently, letting the eyes soften on that one spot. Now for a moment, I'd like you to bring awareness to the sounds that you hear around you. And I'd like you to start by noticing the sounds that are the farthest away from you. And you're just noticing them. Nothing to hold on to, no stories to create in the mind. Just notice the sound. You might label the sound, and then to see if you can keep finding other sounds, just noticing. Or maybe you're lingering on that one sound and you're just really taking in that sound. And now start to notice sounds that are a little bit closer to you in your immediate space. And now see if you can notice the sound of your own breath. And you don't have to change your breath, but start to notice the sound of your breath. Now, once you've noticed your breath, you noticed how it sounds, I'd like you to start to take a fuller, deeper breath. And you're going to invite in the breath a little bit deeper into the belly. The belly's going to expand, the ribs, and then the chest. And exhale, let your belly gently draw in and up, ribs deflate, chest drops down. Deep breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in and out through the nose if accessible. And keep going. Take a few more full deep breaths on your own. These deep, full breaths in, long breaths out. Let the belly gently draw in and up as you exhale. And you may even want to add a little constriction to the back of the throat so that you can get this audible breath. This, in yoga, we call an ujjayi breath. Some people, I've heard it called an ocean breath or a Darth Vader breath. Right? So it'll sound like you're trying to fog a mirror, but your mouth is closed. So it'll sound like this. Few more breaths. Beautiful. Now, first, I'd like you to know that just focusing on your breath is a form of meditation. Meditation is when we are focusing the mind on one thing, but practicing the single point of attention. And so just coming into that deep 3-part breath is a beautiful meditation practice that you can take anytime, anywhere. 3 breaths, 30 breaths, however many breaths, however short or long. It's a perfect little meditation that you can squeeze into your day. So let's add a count to the breath now. We're going to let the mind rest on the count instead of just the sensation and the sound of the breath. So we'll inhale for the count of 4, hold for the count of 7, and exhale out nice and long for the count of 8. When you're ready, together we'll inhale, hold for the count of 7, exhale out nice and long for the count of 8. And then move with your own breath. In for 4. Hold for 7. Out nice and long for the count of 8. And allow yourself to maybe even add that ujjayi breath, that ocean breath. A few more rounds, your own time, your own pace. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. now take one more round. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. One last round. And when you finish, take your time getting there. When you've finished, let the breath just naturally flow now, in and out through the nose if accessible. And if you can't breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in whatever way feels comfortable. But you're letting the breath settle back into that rhythmic flow. We normally don't have to force the breath. We don't have to think about it. But when we bring this conscious awareness and we allow it to focus on the breath or a count that guides the breath, we start to really tap into this ability to move out of fight, flight, freeze and into rest and digest, where we can really find moments of healing and presence into the present moment. Okay, beautiful. So 3-part breath, 4, 7, 8 breath. Now we're going to come into a body awareness meditation. So now, instead of focusing our awareness on the breath or the count, we're going to focus our awareness on the sensations that we feel in our physical body. When we are in fight, flight, freeze, we have a tendency to not have as much of an awareness of what we're feeling in our physical body. We're very much in our mental mind, right? We're in the mind. You hear some teachers call this the monkey mind, right? The mind that's all over the place. So we can come into meditation by paying attention to what we feel in our physical body. And I'll guide you through that process. So when you're ready, get nice and comfortable. And let's take 3 more of those full deep breaths in just to settle us back down. Now let your breath settle back into a rhythmic flow. Nothing to force with the breath in or out. And now with the eyes closed or the eyes open, softly focused on one spot in front of you, I'd like you to bring awareness to the top of your head. Right, so you're just shifting your attention to the top of your head. You're noticing the top of your head. And just notice how you feel there. Can you bring awareness to the air above the top of the head? And now start to bring awareness to the back of the head. Notice the sides of your head. And just notice how you feel. Maybe there's no sensation there, but you're just noticing. Start to notice the sensation in the face, forehead, eyebrows. How do you feel in the eyes? Are they soft? Are they closed tight? Do you have any pressure in the face today? Notice how you feel in the nostrils, the nasal passage. Are you breathing fluid, smooth? It's a little stuffy in there. So we're just noticing, bringing awareness to the qualities of each part of the body. And notice the throat and the jaw, the tongue. Notice this? Is the tongue pressing forward to the roof of the mouth, or does it gently drop back? And notice the throat, the back of the neck. And if your mind wanders away, just draw it back, come back to the body. That's so much of the practice, is just drawing that mind back to that single point of attention. No judgments, just a really compassionate nudge back in the direction of our highest intention. Notice the back of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. How do you feel in your shoulders today? And I know that sometimes it's not easy to notice what it is that we actually feel in our body. Sometimes it doesn't feel good. Pain, tension, tightness, fear, worry. It's okay. And just keep breathing really slow in and out, and we'll just notice how we feel. We're going to let it be what it is. Each exhale can also be a little invitation for you to soften those parts of the body that you're bringing awareness to. The body doesn't always relax on cue, but oftentimes just noticing, just looking at that part of the body, it will start to soften. So notice what that feels like for you. Can you notice the chest, the ribs? Make your way down your right arm, all the way to the fingertips. How do you feel in your elbows, your wrists, your knuckles? Are your fists held tight? Are they relaxed? And if you're holding tight anywhere, let that exhale be an invitation to soften just a little bit, even if it's just a layer. So make your way down your left arm, left elbow, wrist, knuckles, fingertips. Can you start to notice how you feel in the belly? Relax the belly with every breath. Notice how you feel there. How do you feel in the belly today? Does the belly feel tight? Are you holding? Maybe there's pressure there. Maybe you don't feel much sensation at all. Maybe you feel really good today there. Just notice. Notice how you feel in your hips, in your glutes. How do you feel in the hips and the glutes? Can you feel where your body touches the chair or the ground that you're on? Start to notice down the right leg, the right knee, down the long bones. Notice the right ankle, the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, and the toes. Notice how you feel in your feet. How do the feet feel today? It may feel good to wiggle out the toes or to gently move the part of the body that you're bringing awareness to. And start to make your way down the left leg now. Notice the left leg, the left knee, down the long bone, the shin, the calf. Notice your ankles, tops of the feet, bottoms of the feet, and the toes. Notice how you feel in the foot, the left foot. Maybe wiggling the left toes, the left foot. Now notice your whole body. With your next few breaths, just see if you can notice your whole body as a whole piece. All right, one whole piece of art. We have all of these different parts of ourselves, and they can have different sensations, but they create the whole. So notice yourself with all those sensations. Notice your body as it rests on the ground, in the room that you're in. In this moment, just notice how you feel. Wonderful. Now I'm going to invite you to bring one hand to the chest. Left or right hand, it doesn't matter. You're just going to bring the hand to the chest, and you're going to create these little circles at the chest. For some of you, these little circles are going to feel really nice, and some of you won't like it so much, so maybe the hand just rests there. Others may enjoy a gentle tapping right at the chest, right at the chest, right in here. Right over the bones. And so just find what works for you, that gentle tapping or that circle. And I would like you now to just bring awareness to the emotions that you're feeling in this moment. What's coming to the surface for you? What are you feeling in this moment? And there's no need to feel any particular thing. You don't have to feel happy today. You don't have to feel sad in this moment. What is it that you feel? Really honestly, what's coming up for you? And maybe you're not able to put a name to it just yet, but you're just going to let yourself feel into that space, into that emotional body. Okay? Now, if you are able to label your emotion, you can start to put that into this affirmation where you'll say, even though I feel blank, happy, sad, frustrated, angry, right? Many of us are feeling quite angry today, right? So much going on in the world. Let yourself feel honestly what you're feeling, even though I feel blank. I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I feel angry, I deeply love and accept myself. What is it that you feel? Even though I feel blank, I deeply love and accept myself. And just say that a few more times with this gentle pressure to the chest, a gentle tapping or a circle. Even though I feel blank, I deeply love and accept myself. Frustrated, anxious, joyous, happy, content, peaceful, alarmed, nervous. Let it be what it is, and maybe it shifts as you start to take this practice. Allow it to shift as well. Maybe it starts as anger and it moves to sadness or grief. Allow it to shift. We'll take just a few more rounds here. Even though I feel blank, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I feel blank, I deeply love and accept myself. Can you say it with conviction these last few times, like you really mean it? Even though I feel sad, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I feel blank, I deeply love and accept myself. One last time here. Go ahead and let your hand relax on your chest. And just breathe here gently for a moment. When you're ready, take a deep breath in and out. Beautiful. You can let your hands drop down, maybe a little movement in the shoulders. Maybe a little circle in the neck. Other direction. And when you're ready, letting your head come back up to center. Fluttering the eyes open if they're closed. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me in this meditation practice. I've kind of got that meditation brain. I'm like, woo, feeling so much more relaxed. So let me know how this practice made you feel, what came up for you. Remember that all sensations are welcome. Not all meditations end, feeling joyful or peaceful. All kinds of emotions can rise and fall, and that's the practice, is to just let them be what they are and to breathe through them and to know that we're more than our thoughts. We're more than the feelings in our body. We're more than our experiences. We are this culmination of all of these things put together, and nature itself. We are so many things, multifaceted human beings. So let yourself be human and come back to these practices. You can always break them apart. Remember, we had the 3-part breath, the 4-7-8 breath, bringing awareness to each part of the body and how you feel. And then that little affirmation at the chest. Even though I feel blank, I deeply love and accept myself. And you can break those apart, and some of them you can do 3 breaths. That takes 2 minutes? So in the car, while you're at your desk, if you're feeling any certain way in conversation, give yourself that time and space to come back home to yourself. It's back home to the present moment. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Namaste.